SportyShorty. How you doing today?
Chilling. What's going on?
All right. Celebrating Martin Luther King,
Dr. Martin Luther King
King's
Jr.
birthday weekend.
birthday weekend. Yes, indeed.
Also, wild card weekend for the NFL.
Yes, indeed. The games are on as we speak.
But as I understand it, we're not talking about football today.
We are not talking about football today. It's going to be my midseason NBA awards.
Okay.
Obviously, these awards are given at the end of the season, but I watch a lot of basketball, and these are the guys that I'm picking for my midseason awards.
Okay.
Some of these awards are real awards that they give out at the end of the year, and a few of them, the ones in the beginning, are the ones that I made up.
Oh, you making up stuff
I made
now.
up my own awards.
Okay.
Some of them are legit awards, and some of them are the first three are awards that I actually made up.
Let's jump right on into
So let's
it then.
get right into it. It's going to be apropos that I name a SportyShorty award because I'm SportyShorty. So my first award is going to be the SportyShorty award. Obviously, not a real NBA award, but this is my midseason SportyShorty award.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson.
Who
This goes to
many times.
my New York Knick, Jalen Brunson, who I love. This award goes to a player who's vertically challenged. I call him vertically challenged. A real sporty shorty. He's listed at 6'1". That man is not 6'1". He's listed at 6'1".
Okay.
Jalen Brunson's about 5'10", 5'11".
Okay.
But he's a person that I select who's one of the shorter NBA players who plays big.
Okay.
He plays big. The man is averaging 22.2 points per game. He's averaging 3.6 rebounds, and he's averaging 6.5 assists. And he's been dominating on the Knicks.
Okay.
Between him and Julius Randle, they've been the two best players on the team. And Jalen Brunson has definitely been the leader of the team. He just joined the team this season, and he's already the leader of the team.
Wow.
He's been phenomenal this season, and he has a chance to go to All-Star game.
Nice.
I think either him or Julius Randle will get into the All-Star game. I don't know if both of them will make it. Both of them deserve to make it, but the way the voting goes and the way the coaches vote for the players, I'm hoping at least one of them gets in. I'd be shocked if neither one of them get in. But I'm thinking votes might get split. Maybe one of them gets in.
Okay.
Which I'll take. I'll take one of them getting in. But yeah, my SportyShorty award is Jalen Brunson, obviously a New York Knick.
Okay.
That's the first one. Not a real award, but my award.
Okay.
Next, Comeback Player Award goes to John Wall of the LA Clippers.
Okay.
John Wall has been playing in the NBA for quite a while now. He's an NBA vet. One of my favorite players. I've been following him since college.
Yes.
He's only averaging 11.4 points, but he's also averaging 2.7 rebounds. He's averaging 5.2 assists. Not great numbers, but great numbers for him because of everything he's been through.
Okay.
I'll run it down. He was with the Houston Rockets last season. They refused to play him. They basically sent him home. So he was getting paid, but he wasn't playing with the team. They wanted to go in a different direction and play their young players. So they basically sent him home. A lot of young players weren't happy about it on the Houston Rockets because they looked up to him. He was a mentor to them. To this day, he still has great relationships with some of the players on the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
But now he's the LA Clipper. He's actually playing. He's been a great asset for them off the bench. And he's actually started, certain games. But I call him the comeback player because this man has had numerous knee surgeries, plenty of knee injuries. He had an Achilles injury that was really bad, had to have surgery on that. And this has been plaguing him throughout his career. He lost his mother and his grandmother pretty much consecutively. He suffered with depression. He was suicidal.
Oh
He wanted to take his life. NBA player wanted to take his life. He couldn't deal with. He was very, very close to his grandmother. Lost his grandmother, then he lost his mom. He lost his mom to cancer. And he didn't want to live. He was unhappy.
Wow.
This guy was a superstar. He was a superstar at one point. When he was with the Washington Wizards, he was a superstar. And his injuries robbed him of that. You know, he had to become a role player because of his injuries.
Wow.
You know, and obviously dealing with the death of his mother and his grandmother in a very short period of time, he didn't want to live. So he's my comeback player because he seems to be very happy playing for LA. He has his health back. So he's my guy for the comeback player award. My award, but I'm happy for him because he looks happy. Kudos to him for getting his life back together. He always seemed to be a good guy to me.
Yeah.
I always liked him. I remember when he used to play with DeMarcus Cousins and Eric Bledsoe and those guys in college. I've been rooting for him since then.
Right.
So I'm glad to see that he's getting his life back on track. And I hope he continues.
Yeah. Praise God.
Praise God. So John Wall, comeback player of the year. Next, another SportyShorty award. I call it the Surprise Team Award.
Okay.
This is a team who's notoriously been bad for quite a while. And they're looking pretty good this year.
Okay.
That goes to Sacramento Kings.
Okay. Don't hear too much.
You don't hear too much talk about them, but they're having a surprisingly good year.
Good for them.
They haven't been good in a long time. But they're 23-18 so far this season. They're 4th place in the West. And to give you some context, last season they were 30-52 the whole season.
Wow.
They're almost there already. They have 23 wins. They had 30 wins the whole season. In an 82-game season, they had 30 wins last year. They were 12th place last year. They're 4th place right now in the West.
Nice.
That's a big jump.
Yes.
So kudos to their team, Sacramento Kings. Mike Brown is their coach this year. He's doing a great job. He actually coached under Steve Kerr last year with the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
So he knows how to win.
Nice.
But yeah, kudos to Mike Brown. De'Aaron Fox is playing very well for them. Domantas Sabonis is playing very well for them. They got a good team.
Nice.
They got a good team. So Sacramento's on the rise. So my surprise team award, Sacramento Kings. I don't think too many people thought they would be playing this well this year. So props to the Sacramento Kings, surprise team award.
Good for them.
Good for them. Next, this is a real award.
Real awards.
The real
now.
awards now. These are the real.
on.
These are actually really real awards that the NBA gives to players. Most improved player. Real award goes to Larry Markkinen. Plays for the Utah Jazz power forward. This man is averaging 24.6 points this season, 8.6 rebounds, and 1.9 assists. Last season, just remember, say he averages 24.6 points right now. Last season, he averaged 14.8.
It's a big jump.
That's a big jump, almost 10 whole points almost. He averaged 5.7 rebounds. This year, he's averaging 8.6. And last year, he averaged 1.3 assists. He's averaging 1.9 assists, which is not a big deal. He's a power forward. He's not passing the ball a lot.
Right.
Big jump. He's with the Jazz now. He got traded to the Jazz. He played for Cleveland last year.
Okay.
Big jump in 1 year.
Nice.
For a player like that to make a 10-point jump in one season, it's impressive. If his team was better, he'd probably be in consideration for an all-star spot. But Utah is a struggling team. They traded away Donovan Mitchell. They traded away Rudy Gobert. They traded away a lot of their better players. But Larry Markkinen is one of their best players this season. He's playing well. I don't think anybody expected him to make such a big jump. Obviously, there's other players in contention for this award. Russell Westbrook. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him. He almost made the cut on this award. I was kind of going back between both of them. but Larry Markkinen has actually made the bigger jump.
Okay.
Westbrook, I expect to play well because Westbrook has been a star in this league. But honorable mention to Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
And also Malcolm Brogdon, the Boston Celtics, who I think is doing very well. It's actually, well, I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't say Malcolm Brogdon probably for most improved. I'd probably say Malcolm Brogdon for a six-man award. But anyway, Russell Westbrook, Larry Markkinen. We'll stick with Larry Markkinen. We'll stick with Larry Markkinen for most improved.
Okay.
I think those guys would be better at six-man award. Okay. But moving on to the sixth man of the year. That's my next award. I have Russell Westbrook winning that one. Okay. Russell Westbrook, 15.4 points a game, 6.4 rebounds, and 7.8 assists off the bench.
Wow.
A lot of guys would be happy with those numbers as a starter. He's doing that off the bench. This is a former starter, a former MVP, 9-time All-Star, and he's averaged a triple-double before for a whole season, multiple times. Right. So Russell Westbrook's that dude, and he accepted a bench role. And he's thriving in that bench role. It's hard for a guy who's a former All-Star to come off the bench. It's just they tend to be very prideful, and a lot of times it's hard for them to accept that. But he's accepted the role because he kind of plays better off the bench, being that he plays with LeBron James, and both of those guys kind of need the ball to be effective. So staggering their minutes kind of helps out. So Russell Westbrook, sixth man of the year. Nice. Good for him. I'm happy for him. Again, with sixth man of the year, I mentioned Malcolm Brogdon. I think he's another guy who could be up for that award. Malcolm Brogdon is doing a good job with the Celtics coming off the bench. So honorable mention to Malcolm Brogdon. Also honorable mention to Benedict Mathurin, who plays for the Indiana Pacers, who's a rookie. But he comes off their bench, and he's very effective off their bench as well. Okay. So props to those guys. What I was going to say, I'll backtrack a little bit. With the most improved player, I have Larry Markkinen. I also want to mention Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay. He's made a big jump too. So he almost made the cut, but I think Larry Markkinen has made a bigger jump. So I give it to Larry Markkinen, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is having a great year. But to me, last year he played well too. He had a great year last year. He made a jump this year, but his jump was more like a 6-point jump. Okay. But he's that guy. I think he should make the All-Star team. So I didn't really want to put him as most improved because he's been good. He's just better this year. Okay. So I wanted to go back and mention that. Next award, Rookie of the Year. This was not hard for me. It's got to be Paolo Banchero. Okay. At this point in the season, obviously these awards are my mid-season awards. A lot can change. We got like another 40 games left to play. But mid-season, it's got to be Paolo Banchero. This man is averaging 21.2 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 3.8 assists. Those are vet numbers. And this is his first year in the NBA, and he's putting up all-star level numbers. He plays for Orlando Magic, who are a bad team. They're a struggling team. They're up-and-coming team. So he's probably not going to make the All-Star game. But his numbers say he should make the All-Star game. But his team record doesn't say that. But for a rookie, it sucks because it's like back in the day, a lot of times you made the All-Star game just based on your numbers. But it seems like nowadays, if you're not winning, it's hard to make the All-Star team. A lot of times you kind of got to be on a winning team, or at least a team that's in playoff contention. The Orlando Magic, they're not going anywhere this year. They're a young up-and-coming team. There's a reason why they had the first pick and was able to get a guy as good as Paolo Banchero. But he doesn't play like a rookie. He plays like he's been in the league a few years. He's got a lot of talent, and he seems to be very mature. So Paolo Banchero, shout out to him. I got him pegged for Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Did he play before coming into the NBA?
Yeah, he was in college. He played for Duke.
Oh, okay, but right. I'm sure he played for college, but I mean, did he play overseas?
No,
No.
not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. No, he's not like a Luca or somebody like that. He's American.
Okay.
Yeah. He has an Italian dad. That's his name is Paolo Banchero.
Mm-hmm.
His father's Italian. His mom is black.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he played for Duke for
Mm-hmm.
I think 1 season.
Okay.
Next award, Defensive Player of the Year. Again, these are all awards that actually the NBA gives out.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive Player of the Year so far, I have Jaren Jackson Jr., who plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, power forward. He's averaging 3.2 blocks. I believe he's leading the league in blocks. 3.2 blocks and 1 steal a game. His man's about 6'10 and 6'11. He's getting a steal a game. Normally, that's reserved for guards.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also averaging 16.5 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 1 assist a game.
Mm.
He's doing all this offensive work and still playing great defense.
Mm.
He helps out a lot of those other guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's the backbone to their defense. And he played decent defense last year, and he made a bigger jump this year.
Okay.
So shout out to Jaren. His father actually played in the NBA. I remember when his father was in the league.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of aging me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his father, Jaren Jackson Sr., played in the NBA. I remember when he played for the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Not as big as his son, but I remember. Not as good as his son either, but I remember when Jaren Jackson Sr. was in the league.
Okay.
But yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. is a pedigree player. And so far I got him for my Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
Only thing with him is I say stay out of foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he overplays defense
Mm-hmm.
and gets himself in foul trouble. But still a great defensive player.
Okay.
So Jaren Jackson Jr. Coach of the Year, I have Willie Green, who coaches the New Orleans Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Green, he's that dude. The Pelicans are 26-17, third in the West. But that's not the whole story. He's had to deal with injuries to Zion Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
He's had to deal with injuries to Brandon Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a young team.
Mm-hmm.
But he got those guys third in the West, 26-17. And Willie Green's a young coach.
Mm.
Very impressive. He actually played in the NBA too.
Oh, nice.
Very impressive job. I didn't expect the Pelicans to be this good,
Mm-hmm.
especially with their injuries. He got CJ McCollum over there, who's a veteran, very professional guy, but CJ McCollum can play his butt off.
Mm-hmm.
But he got a lot of young guys. So it's impressive that he has such a great record, especially with all the injuries they've had.
Mm-hmm.
So Willie Green, Coach of the Year.
Nice.
Last but not least,
Mm-hmm.
this was the hardest award.
Okay.
The MVP award of the whole season
Mm.
at the midseason.
Right. It's a little early, no?
It's still a little early, but obviously guys are doing work. Guys are doing work around 40 games in. This was hard for me. I was going back and forth with who I thought the MVP was at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me right now, it's Luka Doncic. He's averaging 33.8 points a game, which is first in the NBA. 9 rebounds and 8.8 assists, which is fourth in the NBA. And he's shooting 49.8% field goals from the field goal. From the field, he's shooting almost 50%. He plays guard at 6'7", 230 pounds. Plays point guard and he's averaging 9 rebounds. That's pretty impressive. He almost averages a triple-double. And he's the only star on his team. The Dallas Mavericks are 24-20, which makes them 5th in the West. Now, granted, there are other teams that are better that have stars on their team. That's why this is a hard one to choose a player, because I got Nikola Jokic, plays for the Denver Nuggets. He's definitely a candidate, but he's won the award the last 2 seasons. I think the NBA is probably going to vote for somebody else this season, being that he's won the past 2 seasons.
Right.
There's very few players in the NBA who have won it 3 times in a row.
Okay.
But Nikola Jokic deserves it, though. His numbers deserve it. and the Denver Nuggets, I think they're first in the West.
Mm.
So I got to give these other guys shout outs just because they're deserving.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum plays for the Boston Celtics. They're number 1 in the league, period.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's putting up great numbers, but he has another star on his team, Jaylen Brown. I think that makes it a little easier to put up those numbers because you got another guy that they have to key into. Because Jaylen Brown is a star too, but Jason Tatum is the better player. So I think he would be more of a candidate to win it.
Okay.
But again, you got Nikola Jokic, but he has Jamal Murray. Like I said, you got Jason Tatum, he has Jaylen Brown. You have Joel Embiid with the Philadelphia 76ers. He's a candidate too, and he's deserving of the award as well. But he has James Harden. He has Tyrese Maxey. Makes it a little easier for him.
Right.
You got the Greek Freak, who I love. Greek Freak deserves it. But he's got Drew Holiday. You know, he's got a lot of help. You know, you got KD. KD deserves the award too, but he's got Kyrie. He's got Kyrie Irving for the Brooklyn Nets. So these guys are deserving, but I got to give the edge to Luka because Luka Doncic, he doesn't have another star on his team. He's the guy.
He is the guy.
And if he's not on the team, this is how I look at the MVP award. If you take this one player off the team, how drastic is the loss? You take Luka off the Dallas Mavericks, they're not a playoff team at all. They're nowhere near the playoffs.
Right.
You take all these other guys off their team, they still might make the playoffs because of the other guys they have on their team.
Right.
And there's no disrespect to the other guys on the Dallas Mavericks, but they're just not stars. And that's fine. There's only so many stars in the NBA. But Luka's the guy on his team.
Right.
He's the clear-cut guy. These other teams have other guys. So with that being said, mid-season award for MVP, I got to give Luka Doncic the edge.
Okay.
He's my MVP so far. It may change as the season goes on, but this is the mid-season.
Okay, sounds good.
So that's all I got.
All right, we'll leave it right there.
We'll leave it right there.
Make sure you sound off in the comments. You agree with these picks?
Yeah, let me know if you agree or not. Let me know if you agree or not. That should be very interesting because this is extremely subjective. So I'll be interested to see.
Yeah, and don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and your notification bell is on so that you never miss a video.
Facts. Peace.
Peace.